As we get to the last series now, and you both had said that you felt that the Thunder and the Mavericks were the best series in these semifinals. I
Well, no,
personally
I
think
didn't say that.
the Nuggets
That's
and
fine.
the Timberwolves we'll have to rewatch the tape, but I personally think the Nuggets and the Timberwolves has been the best series of these semifinals thus far because you know Timberwolves come out game one, they steal game one. I was the only one out of all of us to actually predict that. Then in game two, the Timberwolves come back and they win game two and they absolutely stomp out the Nuggets. Everyone was writing Denver's obituary, but then they kind of forgot, well, these are the reigning champions and they are pretty good. And so then the Nuggets come back in game three. They hold on. They win game three. They win game four. And now we have a tied series. So, Gary, I'm going to toss it to you first on this one. Where do you see this series going, and who do you got winning it?
I'm gonna stick with my pick. Before, last time we talked in the pod, I think I had Timberwolves in 6 or 7. I can't remember, but I got Timberwolves winning. I'm pretty sure I said 6 winning at home in game 6. So I'm gonna rock with them in game 6. Obviously, both teams have not secured home court at all, and there's been all road wins, which is always eye popping. But I picked game 3 because I knew that there's no way Denver is gonna be losing game 3 because I don't care for even though it was gonna be tricky because it was first game in Minnesota and everything like that. But heart of the champions, hard to take them down. They got a lot of smart players on the team where I knew they were gonna have to figure it out and figure out all the aggression and length that the Timberwolves have been throwing at them. They figured it out. Game 4, they were kind of going nip and tuck. Denver kind of controlled the whole game. And they nip and tuck in a way where Timberwolves were getting close, but just couldn't get over the hump. And that was pretty much it, man. In terms of again, this series is gonna come down to, again. Obviously, I mentioned it before, but role players. And when guys like Aaron Gordon go 11 to 12, 2 for 2, not missing no free throws. Jokic, we already mentioned, but like Caldwell Pope, he had a bad shooting night. But I'm trying to mention guys obviously who didn't okay. Reggie Jackson had a good night, 2 for 3 from 3-point line, 2 for 4. Braun 4 for 4 from the free throw, 3 for 4 from shooting. So the guys like that who are just showing up and showing out and playing pretty much perfect to a T is really gonna how this team's gonna be able to win this series. And again, Ant-Man's gonna he's been showing up 44 again. Man, he's been balling, but he's gonna need some help, man. Towns is gonna be the key. Had a bad shooting night. We already know Gobert's gonna be a defensive guy, so wherever he gives you extra is great. It's really on Gobert and Towns and Ant to really get everything cooking. And from there, once that gets cooking, that's when everyone else can chip in where they fit in. And so it starts with those two really being great. I still got I still got the Timberwolves that, like I just mentioned, winning this, and I got them winning in 6. If it goes to game 7, it's gonna be pretty tough, I think, to win a game 7 in Denver for Timberwolves, and I still want Timberwolves. I think Timberwolves are gonna win this series. So, and win the next 2 is gonna be tough too, man. That's real tough, especially if this is part of this game, pivotal game 5 in Denver. But if anyone could do it, I think it's the Timberwolves team. They're going to have to step up on defense, man. Like the first 2 games, they had these guys on lockdown. 99 points. Boom. They came back home, flipped the table, 117 and 115. So they got to get back to the lockup drill we were talking about in the first 2 games. And obviously, Jamal Murray and Jokic are really tough to stop when they get that 2-man game. They know where every pocket pass is, every pass to the corner is, where everyone should be. And it's about missing shots. So they got to keep trying to be a little smarter. I feel like they've been kind of double teaming too early. I feel like they should go back to kind of what they were doing before, just playing that one-on-one and just letting their length take over, not fully committing because that's been hurting them, because Joker's going to find that easy pass to hurt you. So I think that's what they got to do. They got to make Joker just play one-on-one and try to score all the points and just keep the other guys out of it. Because when other guys are in it, man, it just feels like everything's falling down. So, and offensively, you already know that the Timberwolves have struggled offensively all year in a way, and this playoff run they haven't, and we're seeing it now where they've kind of been stopped a little bit in this last 2 games. So Ant's doing whatever he can, man. He needs a little help, simple as that, and they got the weapons to do that. So if they can hit a couple more shots and get them closer in this game, I think the clutchness of Ant is going to rise here, and we're going to see it. We've already been talking about a star being born, and maybe we're jumping the gun. They might be too early, but I think that this is the series that he can really make that leap into superstardom right now. So I still believe that's going to happen. And hey, we're going to see, man, because it would be crazy to see him in the finals at the age he's in and knock on the door already. That would be a thing, maybe since Magic to win this early in his career, really. And we seen LeBron go there, but we're actually winning it. I don't remember the last guy to win it like what, 23, 24? Is it even that yet? So crazy.
It is crazy. And Jaevon, the craziest part about this series to me is the fact that the road team has won every single game of this series thus far, which is a parallel opposite to the Knicks and Pacers series where the home team has won every game. But in game 4, you had Nikola Jokic score 35 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. He scored 16 of those points in the fourth quarter. And not only that, because that's the reigning MVP, we kind of haven't talked about the awards too much. I mean, Wemby won Rookie of the Year. Gobert got his 4th Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, and Nikola Jokic won MVP for the 3rd time in 4 years.
Oh,
We
yeah.
expect Nikola Jokic to drop 35 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. But Aaron Gordon started 10 of 10 yesterday and scored 27 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, finished 11 of 12. And even Anthony Edwards, in a loss, 44 points, 5 rebounds, 5
He's
assists,
like,
5 3-pointers
What
made.
did he say about Gordon? He said she.
He was talking shit.
No, but after he let the press conference, his breath was like, "Damn, Aaron Gordon, that many points," something like that. He said.
Exactly. And Anthony Edwards now has 4 40-point playoff games, and the Timberwolves are only 2-2 during those games, Jaevon. So what have you seen from this series?
Come on, Mike Conley.
From the
Need
Ohio
more.
State University.
He got 15 now. Something.
I just think, you know, do the Timberwolves have to go on the road? I mean, our good friend Wesley, who was talking so much shit to everyone,
where has he been? Where has he been?
To Kevin, who he's been talking the most shit to. Haven't really heard too much from him. I've been, you know, they go up 2-0 against the defending champs, and you're going back home. You're going back home up 2-0. This is like backs against the wall. Like, if they don't win game 3, like, it's over. Like, even if they lose game 4, you're up 3-1 still. So it's like, for you guys to go home and lose both games at home, it's alarming. And now the defending champs, they smell blood in the water. They're like, oh, you guys, we thought you thought we were just gonna lay down, huh? And I'm pretty sure I was one of those guys. The majority of the world thought that the Nuggets were like, all right, it's looking kind of bad. Based off those first 2 games in Denver, you know, you got Anthony Edwards going off, Karl Anthony Towns doing his thing. They won by like 30 without Rudy Gobert. That was like, whoa. And, you know, you got Jamal Murray throwing shit on the court, and Michael Malone's getting in the rest face and not getting ejected. So it's like, I thought the Nuggets kind of caught a break with the Jamal Murray thing. Because, like, should he have gotten suspended for, you know, throwing shit on the court? I haven't seen anybody really go that far. And, you know, the whole antics with Michael Malone was kind of weird too. But I mean, hey, you know, going into game 3, they kind of started really fast and kind of took control of the game early. And the Timberwolves really just didn't have any answer for them. And kind of the same thing in game 4. Not really letting the Timberwolves get into a rhythm. Karl Anthony Towns was erratic most of the game. Didn't really play too well. I mean, Ant did his thing, but it's kind of like, all right, guys, any day now, you guys want to show up. I'm here doing everything I can. And, you know, with a 44-point game, and you're kind of looking at everybody else's stats. It's like 13, 9, 11 points. Like, that's not going to get the job done. So maybe it's just that the Timberwolves were at home. They got to win on the game. They got to win on the road. That could be another thing too. So there's another coin flip series, and it could kind of go either way. But right now, if I had to pick a team right now, it probably would be Denver, because Denver is, they're like, oh, you were supposed to finish this off, at least get 1 in Minnesota. But now it's like, okay, we got some wiggle room now. The series is tied. We can go up 3-2, and we could close it out in 6 games if need be, if we win a game at home, and then, you know, carry that momentum on over back to Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a good point. So where are you ultimately siding in this one, Jaevon? Do you got the Timberwolves pulling it out or what?
I'm gonna say Denver in 7. I think go 7
good.
games.
Probably a good choice.
One thing Michael Malone said in one of his, I think it was after game 2, they said that they need Jokic to play like an MVP for them to be able to have a chance in the series. And he's been nothing but spectacular since that. I think for the most part of the series, he's been playing very well, but I feel like his contributions in these last 2 games have really helped them, kind of propelled them to, oh, yeah, this is the reason why we're the defending champs. This is the reason why he's a 3-time MVP.
Garry, did you mention who you actually have winning this series? Was it the Wolves? You
said
you're
Wolves
stick
in
with the
6.
Wolves. You're
Wolves
sticking
in
with the
6.
Wolves in 6.
Yep. I don't know if
Good
Vaughn
luck.
said that last time we talked, but it's all good.
I said
think
like Wolves in 5
Okay.
after game.
Scrap that. Let me go.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I think I'm gonna go with the Nuggets in 7 as well, Jaevon. I think that the defending champs end up grinding it out. But we shall see. This has been my favorite series thus far, and by the time that we talk next week, gentlemen, each series will have completed, and we will be on to the conference finals.
We have all.
We know Jaevon
this weekend.
We know Jaevon's team's gonna be there. I don't know about these other 6 teams, but it's been another great episode of Stats Over Politics.